I couldn't unsee what I saw. I decided that I wanted to do something.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Essential Channel. I am Isabel Inclán, and today we will talk about the 33 edition of the Hot Dogs Festival. This is a festival of documentary. It's a unique festival in North America, and it will run on April 23 to May the 3rd here in Toronto in some theaters in Toronto. It will show 115 documentaries. One of those is The Delivery Line. It's a Canadian production, and we will talk about this important documentary. I welcome to the Canadian director Nance Ackerman and the Mexican midwife Ximena Rojas. Welcome. Welcome to The Essential. It's nice.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you here. So this Delivery Line documentary is about how midwives are helping women around the world in difficult situations. So Nance, how you got that idea to dedicate your documentary to focus your camera in these midwives working and helping another women at the front line of different situation, conflicts, wars, or different situations? What can you say?
Well, I basically, I had my children with midwives. I had 2 babies at home with midwives. And I also have been a doula, and I've been at many births and assisted many births. I have this real love of childbirth and midwifery, and a real respect for the power that they have, but also the power they impart on the mothers. So I have this it's been a lifelong love of midwifery, but I think what kind of made it around the world, these midwives saving lives, women are dying at an astounding rate around the world. Like a woman dies every 2 minutes in childbirth around the world, and it's a crisis, and we need more midwives attending to women to save lives in these places. But also, there's people, my daughter couldn't get a midwife here in Nova Scotia. So it is a crisis of service, of health service. So that was important to me, but also to address it in a way. I also have been a photojournalist for 35 years and covered wars. I've been in the Middle East, I've been in Africa, I've covered wars my whole life. And I thought, why are wars constantly being covered from a male perspective, and not how women are dealing with this, and how I view them? So it isn't just war, it's migration, and it's climate change, and it's addiction, and poverty. All these crises I wanted to show through a different lens, through a female lens, and through a hopeful subject like beautiful births, and looking at birth differently as a way to pull people out of these situations. That's why Ximena was such a huge inspiration for this film, because it is a way, if you give a baby and a family a beautiful birth, then you're already changing a life. And that was my whole inspiration.
Okay, Nance, and what do you want to put this topic in the global perspective?
Yeah.
Specific, you focus in one situation in Tijuana, Mexico, and Buenaventura, Colombia, Nigeria, Afghanistan, and even Toronto. What do you want to do it globally?
Well, because the issues are affecting everyone, and they're all different types of issues. We picked these issues based on kind of the subject matter. Like I say, we found Nigeria because of the climate change and terrorism. We picked the border because migration is affecting everyone, all the way up to Canada. And we just decided to go to these different places. I was actually in Afghanistan doing another project, and I met a midwife, and she inspired me. And I thought, of all the places now, because of the Taliban, women are facing just unbelievable challenges. So I just felt that it had to be a global view. Toronto, I think, to have a first world wealthy country, that people don't associate Canada being in crisis, but, massive housing crisis in this country. And the colonization issue that has affected the street affected in Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Halifax, all across this country, people sort of, turn a blind eye. And Jay was just extremely articulate about that issue. So that's why we included Toronto.
Okay. Ximena Rojas, you are one of the midwife characters in this documentary. The documentary name is Remember the Delivery Line. So what can you share with us about your experience helping another pregnancy women in the specific border, Mexico-US border? What can you see? What can you share with us what you are doing that over there?
Well, first, I want to say that being part of this film is a wonderful honor. It's been years of work and following different situations and moments that were very special at the border and the south border, and also in my own life. Every time Nance and the crew came, something huge was happening also in my personal life and in the border and the politics and everything. So I feel like it's a beautiful honor to be part of this and show that midwives, we save lives and we are the front line of care because it's needed, because midwives, we are there in the heart of the community, and hopefully there will be more midwives at every community so we can be there for the teenagers, for infants, for everyone. And we can cover the whole spectrum of fertility, and we can cover a lot of different things. We're not only for childbirth. We are also there for sexual education, for prevention. We are the source of information that that our teenagers need, and also even at the end of the menstrual cycle, we are there for women. We're there for people with the possibility of gestation, and we are there at different levels of care because yes, we cover sexual reproductive health, but also midwives as in different parts of the world, as we protect also the ancestral ways and the ancestral medicine. We combine the medicine or the allopathic, and also we bring herbs and plants and healing at different levels. As Nance was telling, right now the world is in crisis at different situations, the war, the migration, refugees everywhere, and we need more of this medicine, ancestral medicine, that is tenderness, radical love, radical spiritual healing, and that comes with soft words, with tenderness, with kindness, and that comes usually in the form of midwives too. So
Claro que sí. Y bueno, pues también incluimos en este programa palabras en español. Ellas hablan español, entienden español. Para nuestra audiencia en español siempre es más rico escuchar la lengua nativa. Ximena, tú querías explicar un poquito cuál es la diferencia, cómo entender el trabajo de una midwife, partera, a diferencia de una doula. ¿Cómo se entiende esto?
pues en principio dejar saber que las parteras seguimos existiendo. Y sí, también las dulas hacen un trabajo muy importante. Las dulas son las que acompañan al trabajo de parto, a las personas que están gestando, les dan información, las acompañan en sus procesos. Y las parteras, las midwives, somos las personas que somos las proveedoras de salud, las que tomamos las decisiones clínicas y acompañamos en todos los procesos de salud reproductiva. Y bueno, acompañamos desde que inicia la menstruación, como mencionábamos, a las niñas, a las adolescentes, hasta el final de la menstruación, la menopausia. en todos estos cambios y ritos de paso con las personas con posibilidad de gestar, con las mujeres, les ofrecemos estos cuidados y pues combinamos no solamente la medicina tradicional o la alopática, sino también el conservar nuestra medicina ancestral, el ofrecer estas opciones de que las personas pueden seguir usando sus remedios, sus plantas, sus baños, bendiciones, oraciones, y esto realmente cura a diferentes niveles, cura nuestro espíritu, nuestro alma, poder sentirnos nuevamente seguras en nuestro cuerpo. Es una gran diferencia a solo ser un número más en el sistema de salud, ¿no? Yo
Claro.
creo que el punto central de las parteras es que damos el cuidado uno a uno y este cuidado se da por tener una partera en el corazón de cada comunidad, que ese es el deseo y me encanta que Nance está promoviendo que las parteras seamos el foco de esto que sucede, que durante COVID lo vimos, las parteras estábamos al frente de línea porque las
Claro que sí.
no se daban abasto. Y
Muy bien.
siempre que hay alguna situación, las parteras estamos ahí.
Claro que sí. We are talking about the documentary, The Delivery Line, and you can watch this documentary at the Hot Dogs Festival on April the 30th and May the 1st. Nance, why to include Toronto in this documentary? What happened?
Yeah, well, as I said before, Toronto was a representative of what first world and sort of privileged and countries are going through as well, and things that are brushed under the mat and hidden away, and people don't want to see. There is a massive housing crisis in this country. There's a huge fentanyl crisis, addiction crisis, and we're constantly battling the long-term damaging effects of colonization on our Indigenous peoples. So all that kind of I felt needed to be brought home. I think Jay also brings a level. She was one of the first 3 midwives to start midwifery in this country. She's got a history of nationally in this country. I just thought we needed to ground it in a place that people were familiar. So, you know, often people can kind of glaze over when they see poverty and they see refugees, they kind of glaze over. But when they go, wait a minute, I know that street corner, I know that store, I know those people that hang out there, then they can kind of go, wow, okay, this is the same. Everybody is battling the same problem around the world, whether you're in Nigeria or Tijuana or Toronto.
Yeah, exactly. So, Ximena, we see you in this documentary and you travel from US to the border, cross the border to Tijuana, Mexico, and you visit the families, the encampments, albergues, and you try to identify those pregnant women. So can you share something about that experience, what you find? Because some of them, they are Mexican, speak Spanish, but some of them, no. So, and I like it in the documentary that you highlight when you ask for them the permission to touch them, to just actually the body, that they never received that question before. What can you share about that experience?
Yeah, well, being at the border means that I serve everyone around the world. Like I've had patients from 150 different countries, some places that I even couldn't remember where is located in the map, and I had to
150 places.
Yes, because
Incredible.
this border, Tijuana San Diego border, is the biggest one, and it's kind of like the thermometer in the world about migration. As soon as, for example, Ukraine was having a problem, a lot of people came from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And a lot of big caravan from Latin America came for a couple of years. People from Venezuela.
Yeah. But tell me about the women. What they said to you after all this help. What can you share about their experience with you?
usually they are traveling with their family members. They are traveling across the Darien jungle. They are doing all these migration journey to pursuing life, pursuing a new chance, pursuing different things that are, protecting their families. And suddenly during the migration route, sometimes they face the situation that one of their family members don't make it, or they don't have the chance to stop and have a funeral. So they have to continue moving and saving the lives of the other children, and different things that are really, really hard. And I started hearing these stories, and this impacted my soul and my life in a way that I couldn't stop coming there and providing services, and change my practice from my private practice
What
to
you remember
their.
that they tell you? ¿Qué te han dicho? ¿Qué te dicen? ¿Qué te ha quedado después de que las has ayudado? Supongo que eso no se lo imaginaban en un albergue en la frontera, que alguien llegue a repartirles kits de auxilio y que esté acompañándolas.
Sí, sí, they are grateful. Todo el tiempo recibo bendiciones, agradecimiento. Algunas personas dicen, es que puedo tener esperanza, puedo tener fe porque hay personas haciendo esto, porque hay alguien que le importa nuestra vida, alguien que le importa nuestro bebé. Y me parece que eso es sembrar semillas de paz en el mundo. Ajá.
Muy bien, me encanta eso, me encanta eso.
Peace in the
Ujú,
world. That's why we do it. Mhm.
Okay, Nance, almost to finish this interview, but I had the opportunity to watch the documentary, and of course, it's related to midwives in the front of line of different with different challenges in different cities. But at the same time, we see poor women with not birth control, education, no health, young mothers. So what could you say about this situation in this century, women facing those kind of challenges?
Yeah, well, I think they've always been facing these kinds of challenges. I just think because now, I think it's because now there's more media out there. We know about it, so now there's no excuse. And there, it's not like it's a complicated fix. There is. I mean, it's complicated. It's complicated in Africa because it's like Nigeria actually is an extremely wealthy country. And you've got this massive amount, but the fix is very logical. It's like, okay, stop the corruption, get the money to where it needs to be to help the women and children who are dying of starvation. So it's logical. There's an easy fix, to dealing short term, at least with climate change. How about, you stop fossil fuel use? How about you stop, there's tons of food in these places, but it's not getting to the people that need it because of the corrupt, because of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And that's happening here in Nova Scotia. It's happening in Toronto. It's happening in Mexico. It's happening everywhere. And in the US, especially, so these problems are universal. And I think that's why it was like I didn't want to go pointing to other countries and saying, oh, you've got a problem, you've got a problem. It's like we all have this problem, and we've had it for a very long time. And now we're very aware of it because of media. And now we have no excuses. And to me, I just think if we stop allowing the rich to continue getting richer, it will stop the poor from getting poorer. So I think there has to be a balance. There has to be a change. There has to be it's a huge problem, but when you go to the microcosm of, say, the services that were needed at the border, and Ximena can talk about that, she will at the film, but it's like it's very specific. They need water, they need shelter, they need to be processed efficiently, they need to be treated with respect. These things are not complicated, so it's like, on one hand, it's a massive problem, on the other hand, there are fixes. So I just hope people become aware that it's not all just happening everywhere else. It's happening in everyone's backyard.
Okay. So, Nance Ackerman and Ximena Rojas, thank you so much for being here, the Essential Channel. And Nance, thank you so much for your production, the delivery line, because really, really you recognize the midwife job to help those kind of women that they are facing. So thank you so much. And remember the delivery line, if you are interested to watch this film documentary, you can do it April the 30th and May the 1st at the TIFF Cinema. Ximena and Nance, thank you so much.
Thank you, gracias.
Te esperamos en el cine. Vengan.
Hey.